What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Another live stream with Nebraskan Gooner. Watching 1 minute charts here. Just pulled up my trading view. Got everything going. Sorry we're a couple minutes late today. I would definitely catch a scalp on this thing, though, if it wasn't on live stream. Look at this. We looking like a nice little rejection here. Maybe. Not confirmed yet. But see, we got price rising, volume dropping. Usually makes for a good scalp at some point. See that? See that? First off, yeah, what's going on, everyone? Anyone want a 25% off? Excuse me. If anyone wants a 25% off code for PrimeXBT for trading fees, I've got like 10 or 20 of them to give out. So just DM me. And after the live stream, I'll go through and give everyone their 25% off codes for PrimeXBT. If you don't have a PrimeXBT account, you can sign up below in the description or in my pinned tweet thread. There's a link and a tutorial. Otherwise, yeah, we're just kind of chilling today. Talk about some leverage trading. I'm just watching the shop chart because it's rejecting, and I really wish I would have gotten a short in here. Just low volume at the top, and then we get a breakdown, and like I talked about, that declining volume with price rising, and you can see get a whole feel for that here on lower time frame even. It is at support a little bit, so maybe if I scalped it, I would probably have to close here maybe if it drops a little bit more. But yeah. Not bad. Yeah, I'm just letting people circle in. What's going on? I think my camera's out. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. Just realized that. Yeah, I don't think I have any camera. Hold up. See if I can fix it. Why don't I have camera today? All right, let's see. I think I just need to do this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We have camera. Bitcoin looking bullish, somebody said, eh? Eh? Look at this nice little scalp, you guys. I wish I would have taken this. I mean, this could be a nice little drop here, actually. But anyway, all right, so let's talk about leverage trading. Yeah, Bitcoin is breaking out, eh? Look at that. Is it a breakout or is it a fake out? We don't know yet. If it loses this line, then it's probably a fake out, right? High volume breakout, or is that a fake out? I think some of my friends think that it's going to go to like 20K and then reject. Like retest this area. That's a little high, sorry. The wick here. So I think some people think it could go retest this wick here. Like do something like this. And then go lower. I'm not sure. Honestly, I really haven't been paying too much attention to Bitcoin lately because it's just been going sideways. And I don't like sideways chop. Like, I can't trade this crap. I mean, I traded when we had some volatility here, but otherwise, like, it's just sideways, you guys. How ugly that is. So, I mean, it's been doing this for like 2 weeks now, so I can't trade that. But anyway, yeah, so let's talk about some leverage trading. Let's see. I have some leverage trading questions. Sure. If you guys have leverage trading questions, just post them in the chat. Like I said, if you want a trading fee discount for PrimeXBT, DM me and just ask for it, and I'll get you a code after the show is over. I'll DM those out on Twitter. But yeah. Good morning. Welcome, you guys. I feel like half asleep today for some reason. I'm going to Colorado tomorrow, so we'll get it's gonna be a fun weekend. I won't be back till next Wednesday, so last time being on for a little bit. Which platform is the best to trade? Well, I'm supposed to say PrimeXBT, right? Because I'm on a PrimeXBT live stream. But honestly, if you check out my pinned tweet thread on Twitter, I have the exchanges that I use. So you can watch that. You can look through that. There's like tutorials and stuff. I mean, most exchanges that are like the top exchanges are pretty good, right? So PrimeXBT is good if you know how to use cross margin. Otherwise, like BitGet and BingX are other good ones as well. So yeah, you can check those out on my pinned tweet thread on Twitter, and that'll give you some, there's videos and reasons why I use them and stuff. So, but if you do use PrimeXBT or you want to use it, there's a link below. You can get up to like a $7,000 deposit bonus when you make a deposit, and then also, like I said, I have 25% fee discounts. Trading fee discount code. So just DM me and I'll get you after the show. But anyway, let's talk about leverage trading. What questions do you guys have? I mean, like my rule, like I have some simple rules, yeah, BingX is good for scalps. But basically you guys, like, kind of my rule is like, especially if I'm leverage trading, is like 2 trades and then I'm done. So like, let's just say that I shorted this here. All right. And got stopped out. Like, let's say I shorted this wick and it went down in my favor, and then I got stopped out, and then it broke out. And if I try to short one more time, I don't know where I would short this, but let's just say I just tried to short here for the hell of it, and it doesn't work out, then I'm done. Like, I'm not going to take another trade, and I'm going to put the chart away. Now, I can still look around at other charts and stuff, but my key here is I'm not going to sit here and watch this chart and try to fight this trend. Because what happens is you just keep shorting, and you take another short, and you take and you can just get wrecked, right? So twice, then I'm done. And obviously I have, stop losses in place and whatnot, because there's nothing worse if you're trading with leverage than getting in a position here and then you're like, oh, my stop loss is right here. And then it goes up and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Oh, it's fine. I'll be okay. And then it breaks up further and you're taking a huge loss. So you need, if you're scalping especially, any trade you take, I have like a cat hair on my face. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I feel like there was like a cat hair stuck in my mustache. I was just petting my cat. Yeah. Okay. It's like tickling me. Okay, I think I got it. So any trade you take, like, you need to know what your risk is beforehand, right? And then if you're using high leverage, you guys, you're going to be using small positions. Like, if I'm using high leverage, basically, like, I need my liquidation to be or not my liquidation, like, I need my position size to be okay with liquidation. If I'm using high leverage, like, that's kind of my mindset on it. Like, if I use $1,000 position with 100x leverage, I'm like, okay, I'll probably close this out if it goes like down 40 or 50%, but I have to be okay with getting liquidated as well. Like, I'm not going to use like a $15,000 position at 100x leverage. That just doesn't make any sense. So, high leverage, smaller positions. The reason I'll do that sometimes during high volatility, and I've talked about this before, is because let's just say like I'm using a $1,000 position, right? $1,000 size, and that's the max loss I can take, right? That is the absolute, on isolated margin, this is the largest loss I can take no matter what, even if I get liquidated, right? But if I use, let's say, so that's $1,000 at 100x equals overall $100,000 position size, right? Okay. But if I want to use, let's say, 10x leverage with $10,000 at 10x leverage, okay, equals $100,000. Yeah, we did. Okay. All right. So it's the same position size, but my max risk on this position is still technically $10,000, right? Technically, my max risk is $10,000, especially if I mean, it's low leverage, so it'd be like hard to get, liquidated. But we have seen people get liquidated on these, and we've seen like Bitcoin just completely nuke, right? And just like cascade through everyone's stop losses, and people with like 5x stop losses got liquidated because, and that was probably back during COVID when the COVID drop happened. But anyway, anytime you're in a position, your max risk is whatever, right? Like my max risk here is technically $10,000. Even if my stop loss on both of these is $500, my max risk here is $1,000. My max risk here is still technically $10,000. And the key point I'm making here is, if for some reason, like I've had it before where I like enter a position and it rockets up, and I didn't even have time to put in a stop loss on the exchange. Like, I didn't even have time to type in a stop loss up here because it just rocketed so fast that I took a huge loss, or, a bigger loss than I wanted because I just couldn't type it in fast enough, even though I was using like low leverage, large position, whatever. So that's kind of my key when there's high volatility. I actually like to use higher leverage, but smaller position sizes. So that way, if I somehow can't exit out, then I can, I'm still not taking a bigger loss than I want to. And sometimes, your emotions go, you're like, oh, I'm only down $300 on my 10x position. Okay, I'm only down 500. Oh, shit, I'm down 1,500. Oh, crap, I'm down 2,000, 3,000 now, and you're taking a way bigger loss than you want. So that's why I do that on low time frames, but again, position sizing, high leverage should go hand in hand. Smaller positions, high leverage. That's how you can manage your risk there. Is it possible to get liquidated even if you have a stop loss? Yes, it is. Okay, because with stop limits, okay, there's a difference between there's a stop limit and a stop market. Okay, so you have a stop limit and a stop. Let's put these way. Stop market. Okay, so those are two different things. And a stop limit is going to say, okay, my stop limit is at, I'm just going to put $15, okay, just for whatever asset is at $15, okay? And actually, let's do like $14.98, okay? And it's $50,000 worth, okay? So $14.98 is my stop limit with $50,000. If price drops below $14.98 and there's only $20,000 worth of orders at that level, I might only get filled $20,000, and I have $30,000 still sitting there as price drops because my limits didn't get filled. So a lot of exchanges have like a trigger and a limit to where you can say like, okay, at $14.98, I want my stop loss to hit, and I'm willing to let this price go all the way down to $14.50 and fill my orders until it's all filled. So you can do that as well. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but basically what you're doing is you're like setting a limit to where you're like, okay, I can go from at $14.98, so my stop loss is going to hit, and then I will let these orders get filled all the way down to this. So that's good to know. I know people on Binance have had that issue before, and they didn't realize that you had to, like, they'll just enter $14.98 for both of those numbers, and then only fills $14.98, whatever orders are there, and then anything else, you're screwed. So you got to be conscious of that. But a stop market. So a stop market, though, is just going to say, okay, my stop market is at $14.98. Okay, as soon as price goes down to $14.98, it's just going to market order, and whatever market orders that can get filled at that time, it's going to fill. So you can get extra slippage technically that way, but it's a guaranteed way to get your order to fill. But if price just drops really fast, you could get a lot of slippage, especially if you have a large order size. So just something to note. Okay, well, Tariq, I'm not going to help you manage your trades on this live stream. If you get into a trade and you don't know how to manage it, then you should be out of that trade. That's as simple as I can say it. Like if if you're underwater in a trade, you should have closed it earlier, or you should just probably end up closing it or putting a tight stop loss at some point. That is like, there's no, like, if you don't have a, even like if you shorted here, like if you just short, like let's say you shorted here and price dropped and you were feeling good and then you just kind of like walked away and now you're underwater and you don't know what to do. Well, you should have had a stop loss. You should have had a plan, right? Like before any trade, especially with leverage, like you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then you shouldn't enter the trade. So, cool. I'm glad you guys like that explanation. Yeah, just somebody, so for anybody watching the stream or watching the replay, I don't know if it shows the comments on the replay, but somebody's asking about an underwater position. And that's the problem for me is I can't help people manage underwater positions because I don't get in them often. Like very, very rarely do I get in them, and I don't know how to manage them because I don't get in them. So like you just, at some point, like I've learned to be disciplined and everything's planned, every loss is planned. So if I'm underwater in position, I feel uncomfortable, I just have to close it because I have to. I can't just keep it open because I feel uncomfortable in the position. It's like, well, I shouldn't have been in this. I need to get out. I don't want to take even a larger loss than I should be taking. So I got to get out and go on to the next one. I took too big of a loss, and I got to stick with my strategy and keep going from there and build back up. So, but yeah, so stop limits, stop markets, those are really, really good to know, even for spot trading, honestly, not even just for leverage trading. That's a very good thing to know. So glad you guys learned something there. You guys, what other questions do you guys have? Does anyone have a social media or cook group? What? I don't know what that means. I like cooking, but I don't have a cook group, unfortunately. Gooners Gallery. Man, you guys, this market's so annoying. Like, everything should just nuke. This is my favorite monthly setup, though, is Domino's Pizza, just for anybody. If you short 20K 5 minutes ago, what should you take as a profit? I mean, again, if you have to ask somebody like a plan for a trade, then you shouldn't be in it. That's how I'm always going to feel. If you have to ask somebody else for advice, then you should be out of that trade, right? Like, of course that happens to all of us at some point. But again, if you're like, if I'm in an underwater position, you guys, at some point, I'm just going to set a stop loss and just be like here, let's just say on this one, like if you shorted down here and you're trapped, and it keeps going up, you just got to say, all right, look, if it goes back, like I'm putting a stop loss here. That's it. I got to take the stop loss. I got to get out of this. I don't want to take a bigger loss because what happens is you just end up closing at the top. So you just, at some point, you got to set a limit, set something, and just be like, all right, because sometimes I've had this happen before in the past where let's say like this. So let's say that I shorted here, okay? Let's just say I took a short entry here, and my stop loss is like right here, okay? But I didn't actually set a stop loss, and then price goes up here, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm taking a bigger loss than I want to right now. Like at this point, I'm taking a bigger loss than I want to. Well, here's the deal: I'm already underwater. It's already up. Price is already up here. I'm going to set my, at this point, I'm going to set my stop loss right up here. Okay, I got to put a stop loss somewhere. Because what could happen is this could just take off and I end up either getting liquidated or closing way up here, right? So at some point, I've just got to say, all right, look, I'm underwater. I'm taking a bigger loss than I want to already. I have to damage control this now. So I've got to put a stop loss here. No more manual stop loss. I should have closed down here. Instead, I'm underwater. And so you put a stop loss up here, and if it goes up, and you just take your loss. And if it doesn't, then, whatever. So that's kind of how I do it if I get underwater in something that I don't want to be. But again, that happens very, very rarely. But sometimes it can work out, but you have to give yourself a hard limit at some point just to be like, look, I've got to because at some point it could be like, just keep going, right? And that does happen where even if you're the most confident in the world and it's a great setup, sometimes setups just don't work out. So that's my advice on that, I guess. So let's see. You take a look. So let's talk about leverage trade, you guys. Yesterday was a chart request. Today, more leverage. How many people we got? Ooh, we have 100 people on. That's pretty sweet. Thanks for joining, everyone. We talked about, for those that weren't here a little bit ago, we just talked about stop limits and stop markets. So make sure you review that if you need to. But yeah, I think one of my buddies said that he thinks Bitcoin's going to go around somewhere up here and then reject. This is where he told me that he's going to set orders. So I don't know. He's a pretty good trader, he's a pretty good trader. So, I definitely don't discount what he says. So let's see if we reject up here somewhere, I guess, eh? But yeah, what other how do you avoid getting stop loss hunted? I often put stop loss and they get triggered. So this is a great question. So somebody said, how do you avoid getting stop loss hunted? I often put a stop loss and they get triggered out and the position goes the way I expected. That's a great question because that happens to all of us and it still happens to me sometimes. Actually, I'll give you guys a clear example of what happened to me and I got stopped out and that's that. So you can actually see the position here. Look. So what I did was I shorted this breakdown of support. It came back up and stopped me out, right? So I had good risk management. I got stopped out. It happens. Here's another trade. This one worked out. So you just kind of have to go. You just have to keep trying, like, right? And you have to do trial and error. So this one, I could have put a wider stop loss. So what you can do here is I could put a little bit wider stop loss, right? Like, let's just say I could do, I mean, that's a terrible risk reward. Let's just say I put it above the EMA. So what I could do here is put a wider stop loss and go half size. So I went larger size, 1.5% stop loss or something like that, 2% stop loss. Or I could go smaller size and do that, right? So when you're calculating your stop losses, let's just say you want to take a $500 risk no matter what, okay? So $500 is the max risk you want to take on any trade. All right? So $500 max risk. All right, so we have that established now. All right, so where's my entry? All right, let's say my entry is down here on this breakdown, and I want my stop loss above here. Then let's just say it. Let's do it here because that's going to be easy math. All right, so I've got a 5% stop loss, which is $10,000, right? $10,000, 5%, right? Yeah. $10,000 position with 5% stop loss equals 500 risk. Hopefully my math's right. Sounds right to me. Told you I'm tired today, okay? So that is, I'm going to do a $10,000 position with a 5% stop loss, $500 risk, bam, okay? Easy enough, right? Now let's say I want to do a 2.5% stop loss because I don't think price is going to go up above this wick, and I want to get more profit if it goes down lower, right? Now, granted, more profit, tighter stop loss means I have a more chance of getting wicked out. So sometimes you might be better off, especially if you're first starting and you're new to trading or whatever. Sometimes you're better off just doing the wider stop losses every time and smaller positions until you get better and you start to realize that your stop losses aren't even getting close or whatever, right? Or things like that. And a lot of times it's going to be based on like actual invalidation levels. So like if you have a head and shoulders or a bull flag or whatever, you know exactly where the invalidation level is based on that pattern. So that gives you an easy invalidation. So you're not like kind of guessing because like this one, there's no pattern here. I just kind of had to guess where it was going to reject, right? So anyway, so if I go down, wait, why did I delete that thing? Okay, so that was 10,000. Okay, so if I want to do 2.5% risk, I can go $20,000 position with 2.5% stop loss equals 5% risk, or $500 risk. Sorry. Okay. So I went smaller, or I went bigger here, tighter stop loss, same risk. Okay, so that's how I run that. Yeah, that's how I do it, you guys. And that's how you should do it. So if you chase way down here, your risk reward is obviously worse. But again, I'm just going to go at the wider my entry is for my stop loss, the smaller my position has to be. And that's just a universal rule for me. So, yeah, I hope that helps you guys out a little bit on that. Oh, man, stop just looks like it's going to die here soon. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, holding a little bit. Might reject here. All right, what do you guys think? What other questions you have? Any more leverage questions? That was a good one. That last one was great. No, your English was great for that, Marco. That was a great question. The EMA is on the screen. Everyone always asks about that. Gunner EMAs are what I use. It's a free script. Anybody can use it. 11 and 22 EMA. And then this is the 99 SMA, which is the orange line. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, there you go. Gunner EMA, 99 SMA. Do I put a rule regarding risk to reward? Not technically. I mean, I would say the general rule of thumb is you want your risk to reward to be at least 2 to 1, because that means you can win 50% of your trades and still be profitable. So that would be a general rule that I would say. Like, so 0.5 and 1. So let's like 1%. Let's go to a different chart. We'll just do shop. Okay, because this will be easier to do percentages on. Okay, get rid of this. All right, so here we go. 1%, risk, 2% reward. If I'm shorting or, you know, the opposite way, it's still going to be the same thing, but some people like this visual better. So 1% risk, 2% reward. That's the standard. Obviously, if you can get consistently like 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, even better, right? Even much better. The better your risk reward, especially if you have a strategy that revolves around that, then the better you're going to do over time. So how can you calculate the price if you'll get liquidated beforehand? Well, on high leverage, oh, actually, this looks like a cup and handle now. Kind of. Like a bullish cup and handle. Anyway, okay. So, price would be like, so if you do 100x leverage, because you really only need to worry about your liquidation level on really high leverage, right? So if you do 100x leverage, most places are going to liquidate you at 70%. So if I take a short here and it drops 0.7%, or sorry, if I take a short here or a long, let's say I take a short here and price goes up 0.7%, that's going to liquidate me. Okay, because 70% is the liquidation level for most places. So 50x would be, you know, 1.4% above, things like that. Any advice on overcoming the fear of entering trades? Sure. Use very, very small positions. That's about it. Like, if you risk, you know, if $1 is nothing to you, or $5 or $10, or it depends on the person, but some people are going to risk $15 on a trade and not even care, right? So if you want to start small and risk small amounts until you feel more comfortable, then that's what I would say for entering trades. Like, if you go too big, your emotions are going to take hold, you know? So really, before you enter a trade, you need, and I actually have a really good video that'll help you guys. Let me see if I can find it here. I just always like to show you guys. It's on my other screen. Hold up. Okay, here it is. So this is going to be on my BitGet series. How to enter a trade. 6 steps to enter a trade. So before you enter a trade, you should go through, you know, a few steps to make sure that you know exactly your risk, how much you could lose, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So great video there if you want to learn how to enter trades, or if you want some kind of tips on what you should do before entering trades, I guess. So, man, look at you guys, this volume. So, like, this is like stuff I like to scalp, though. Like, look, just volume declining completely. In either direction, really. Like, even here, sell volume is declining. We got some small bounces. But volume declining as price is rising. And then you get this other extra little bump, and it's still low volume. So, be interested to see if this pulls back here. Look at all this just straight up, and volume is straight down. So, usually that tells me that there's, like, a car going uphill running out of gas. And it's going to run out of gas pretty soon, it looks like. So, interesting anyway. No, I don't really pay too much attention to the EMA crosses per se on my Gooner EMAs. Let's see. I'm just reading your comments right now. Just depends on like any leverage you can calculate. So like if you have a 10x leverage position, you'll get liquidated at 7% because 7 times 10 is 70%, right? Again, your standard liquidation on most exchanges is 70%. Sometimes some exchanges have a little bit closer liquidation levels for whatever reason. So, yeah, look, and now it's breaking out. At some point, it's probably going to pull back, but this is almost a cup and handle. I like cup and handles. That's a good bullish pattern. Boom, boom. And your target would be, although this isn't technically a cup and handle, but it's pretty close. And then you would target like 28.16. So I could have caught along there, I guess. All right, what else we got? I got about another 10 minutes or so, you guys. So feel free to send me more leverage trading questions. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream so far, the education. I mostly use the EMAs as support and resistance. But honestly, I think I have, again, another video on my EMAs. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's in my breakfast trade series. Oh, there it is. The last one, understanding EMAs. So you could check that one out. It's the last video on my in my breakfast trade series that I haven't done in a while. Ooh, there goes Bitcoin. Ooh, maybe it rejects here soon. We're starting to see some rejections. Some low volume coming in at the resistance. We got a 1 minute bearish engulfing candle. Anyway, I probably wouldn't short this, but look at OBV. It's kind of rejecting here with price going up. So maybe get one more push, but it's looking like it's starting to hit some resistance here. I wonder if Shop's going to hit my little cup and handle target. Anyway, okay. Ready for the London Derby tomorrow. Yes, Arsenal tomorrow. I'm going to watch that, and then I got to head out to Colorado like immediately after. What patterns have the highest hit rate in my experience? It just depends on market conditions. In a bull market, the bull flags have a really good hit rate. Cup and handles have a really good hit rate. In a bear market, bear flags are pretty good. So it depends on market conditions. What video series would I recommend for starting learning? Well, my YouTube's full, literally full of everything you guys could ask for, I feel like, as regards to trading. I literally have a Trading for Beginners series. And then I have this one, Get Educated, and then I have the PrimeXBT one, Leverage Trading series, which talks a lot about risk management and stuff. So, I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them, in my opinion. Like, all those series are great. If you're a brand new learner, then you're going to really like my Trading for Beginners series. Which one was that? BingX, my Trading for Beginners, the top one that I shared. Like, that one's, like, really in-depth, like, fundamentals, like, basic stuff, but like really in-depth content. So yeah, that's the one I would say start with if you're wanting to learn initially. But yeah, anyway, what do you guys think? Good session today. Nice quick session. I got to start packing soon for my trip to Colorado. Look at Bitcoin daily OBV. Yeah, the hard part is looking at Binance chart. It hasn't been working lately because apparently there's just a bunch of wash trading going on. So, because they got rid of fees. So, mostly OBV is just kind of sitting around doing nothing, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, we do have a nice little breakout here on OBV. So, we'll see. I mean, Bitcoin's looking solid right here, but will we reject or can we break above this little range here? Like, if we can break and hold above here, then we'll be feeling pretty good about more upside. We probably have a trend line here, too. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking all right, but we could definitely still reject. I mean, we've got low volume here still, so it's not a given that we're going to moon yet, but monthly closes today. Man, look at this. This month. Holy crap, you guys. Look at this monthly candle. It's like where it opened at. That is insane. That is crazy. Like, swing traders, anybody that took a swing trade on Bitcoin this month, at the beginning of the month, is at break even, basically. So, anyway, you guys. Jesus bags a brace tomorrow. Sweet. I'm down. It's going to be a tough game. I'm interested to see how we can do. We kind of been doing shitty against top teams, like, or, other good teams, so we'll have to see. But anyway, you guys, all right, well, thanks for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed the leverage trading education. Make sure if you want a 25% off discount code for trading fees on PrimeXBT, just DM me on Twitter. But yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. I have a new video coming out hopefully this weekend. And I'm going to do some giveaways on Twitter too. So stay tuned for all that. But thanks for, the great questions on leverage trading. And I do have a busy day ahead, so I got to get going. I wish I could go longer today, but next week we'll do another live stream. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace. Live stream, so stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.